What is up there everyone, it's the guy with no gamer tag and welcome to Battlefield 4 Mastery, the series where I try and master as many weapons in Battlefield 4 as possible. Unfortunately I can't do premium weapons because I don't have premium and I haven't bought any of the DLCs for Battlefield 4. But today we are reviewing the SKS Designated Marksman Rifle. Now this is quite a bad weapon, unfortunately. It's a semi-automatic rifle, it has fairly high kick, low damage and a 20 round magazine. Now these features make it very difficult to use. On a full health enemy you can kill in 2 shots if one of them is a headshot, but generally it will take 3 to 4 shots to kill. Although a redeeming factor is its high fire rate, the weapon lacks damage, being joint lowest with the QBU-88. It also has low muzzle velocity, which means that the bullets will travel very slowly, so you will have to aim quite high up to actually get long range shots off on people. Early on you do unlock a scope, it's the PSO one 4 times. Now I personally really don't like this sight because I just don't like the PSO sights. The reticle in the middle just puts me off and I can't lead shots if I need to aim ahead of them or above them to try and hit my targets. And I really didn't like it, so I continued to use the weapon's iron sights until eventually I unlocked the Cobra sight. Now also at 30 kills you unlock the angled foregrip. This is the foregrip I would recommend using because it reduces your first shot recoil, and as it's a semi-automatic rifle, every time you push the trigger you shoot once, which means theoretically you will get less recoil because each shot technically could be counted as a first shot. Just make sure that you time your shots well, because that's something that I found to be an issue. I was just getting way too trigger happy and spamming the crap out of this gun, and it's really not very effective as a tactic because I find that it just dragged the kick up, and actually I found a lot of my shots weren't hitting. I found if I just waited a second and timed my shots properly, the bullets would then hit and it would be a much easier kill. Although admittedly in close range you may have to just spam it just for the hope of getting a kill, because realistically close range is not where you want to be using a designated marksman rifle, because automatic weapons will be able to put more shots into you quicker. Now the best tactics I found for using this weapon is taking up a position of good cover. This means you can use the cover system where you crouch behind an object and then when you press aim you can then peek over the object, and it kind of gives you a mini head glitch, but enemies can still shoot you if they can see you. And for as much as I do not condone this style of play, it is one of the only ways you can use this gun to good effect. At close range it isn't particularly great. At long range it has a low muzzle velocity and low damage, so it's not really good at either of those. You really want to be picking people off at medium range. Now in terms of loadouts, I would say that you really want to run the suppressor because it doesn't excel at either close or long range. You really want to be staying off the minimap just so people won't necessarily work out where you are immediately. So it gives you a chance to maybe kill a couple of people before anyone notices you're even there. I would also recommend the angled or folding grips because they reduce your first shot recoil, and with DMRs it's just going to be so much more useful than trying to use any other attachment. I would also recommend using the Cobra sight. I really did like the Cobra sight. I just use 1 times optics because it doesn't excel at long range, and the iron sights really aren't that great. So I would just use a 1 time sight. You might be able to use a 2 or if you really want to 4, but I would really recommend staying with the 1 time sights, and I personally preferred the Cobra sight on this weapon. Now for the other attachment I used the magnifier, the 2 times magnifier. I just found that the laser sight really didn't float my boat. I used it for most of the time I was actually using the weapon, but I found that when I took it off I was actually more accurate with hipfire. For whatever reason, when you put a laser sight on it, I just found that it was really inaccurate at hipfire, but when I took it off I could hipfire people much more easily. And the magnifier, it just zooms in and it gives you a slightly better shot at range, which can be useful because it means that you can hit people at longer ranges, and it's an easy way to teach yourself to time your shots prep better because it will stop you being trigger happy, because at higher zoom the kick will be much more noticeable, so you will time your shots better, so then you hit targets on point first shot. Now I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you had, and don't forget to suggest weapons that you want to see me do next. Unfortunately, as I said, I don't have any of the DLCs, so I won't be able to review any of the weapons from them. Anyway, this has been the guy with no gamer tag, and I'll see you on another video.